So, the folks at Chaos have recently released a free version of Vray for Blender, and this is called Vray for Blender Community Edition. This is an amazing step forward to allowing creators have access to Vray and seeing all of the potentials that it can offer artists. And of course, if you'd like to get this, all you need to do is go over to the link in the description that'll bring you right here, where you'll be able to get it for free. And to get it for free is pretty simple. Click on Get Your Free License, and this is going to bring you right here where you can click on Get Your Free License Now, and of course it will ask you to log in. And once you do that, this logs you in, and because we've already had it before, it tells us that we already have an active Vray for Blender Community Edition license, and this license is valid for 90 days and can be renewed within the 7 days leading up to the expiration. So this means that you can perpetually renew this every 3 months, and if you simply go over to download, you'll be able to download Vray for Blender Community Edition for both Blender 5.0, Blender 4.5, and Blender 4.4. And of course, depending on the platform that you work with, you can also proceed to download for Windows and for Mac. And once you download and install this, if you simply go ahead and fire up Blender, how you get things working is this simple. Go over to Edit, go over to Preference, and right here within your add-on section, if you scroll all the way down, you need to turn on Vray for Blender. Now, if you turn this on, it would require you to log in. And of course, to log in is pretty simple. Down here where you get to see About, you need to click on Open if this doesn't show up. And once you do that, give it a couple of seconds, this shows up and you can click on Sign In to sign into your Chaos account. And once authentication is complete, you can come back into Blender, and from here, you can click on the Burger menu, save your preference, and close the window. Of course, this tells you that you need to update your scene, and you can simply click on OK to update the scene. And if you go over to your rendering section and click down here, you'd now notice that we've got Vray. If you turn that on, you'd notice that we've got the Community Edition, and this is Vray version 7.3, which is amazing because it's the most recent version of Vray and you have access to it. Right here within the engine, you do have your Vray GPU, and you've got the typical Vray itself. If you go over to the GPU, you can select devices that you like to work with, which includes your CUDA or your RTX. Now, if we simply go ahead and save our preference, close our window, we can also have access to so many other things. Now, we've covered how you can work with Vray in the past, but for those who are thinking about, assets and stuff, yes, you do have amazing assets, as once you switch over to your Vray engine, over here, you've got your Vray menu. And from here, you can do stuff, which includes having access to Cosmos, as the Cosmos library is also fully available to community users. And you can go ahead and download tons of assets and bring them into your scene and start building your scene based off these. And these includes, the 3D models, the materials, HDRIs, collections, and so on. So if there's anyone that you like, you can click on download and bring them into your viewports. And once we're done, we can simply come through and start adding stuff. So your typical add menu also exists, and you've got all the Vray stuff that you can add. From your Vray scene to proxy for decals, they're all here. If you go over to the lighting section, you'd also notice that I've got all our Vray lights right here as well. And you can throw in any of the lights that you want. So for example, like throwing dome light, we can throw that in and we can switch to our viewport render. Of course, you can also go in and make several alterations to this. Other things that you can do is maybe if you like to work with the Cosmos set of HDRI tools that are also available, you can also go in, pop up the Cosmos tool, and we can simply go over to HDRIs and we can throw in any of the HDRIs that we want, and this gets placed in our viewport automatically. So if we go over to our render one more time, you get to see it. Now, the reason why we're seeing so much light is because our scene is using the default camera. Actually, we're not even looking through the camera. So if I jump into the camera mode, we will need to change to a physical camera, and once we change it, you notice a tiny effect to that. We can also select our dome light and we can drop the intensity. So in this case, we can actually just go ahead and drop the intensity to maybe 0.2 for example, 2 for example, and that drops down. And because this is a physical camera, if we simply go over to our physical camera section, we can choose to do some distortion. If we like to add some depth of field to this, we can also go ahead and do that. And for those who are thinking about playing with aperture, shutter speed and all that, you do have access to all of them. If you like to have your denoising, if you click down here, you can turn on your viewport denoiser. And this is for those who might be wondering, does this even have that? It does. So you can turn on the viewport denoiser, you can select which engine gets to power what. So if you like the denoiser to be done based off Vray's engine, you can have that. And if you like the denoiser to be done based off NVIDIA's, you can also turn that on. Something else which is also very interesting is if you go over here, you can turn on the VFB. So the VFB is the V frame buffer. And how this one works is pretty interesting. This is what you can use to start your interactive rendering, and you can also throw in a few effects right here. So for example, since we have this rendering, you would notice that we don't have the denoiser rendering here. If we like to have like the denoiser, maybe a couple of other things that we might use for compositing, we can also turn those on and have them here. So first things first, if we like to have the denoiser, what we can do is we can simply go all the way here and we can go over to our render channel, and from our render channel we can turn on the denoiser. If we like to throw in a light mix, we can do that. If we like to have some beauty passes, if we like to have some advanced passes, you know, any of these passes that we like, we can always turn this on. So for example, if I turn on the denoiser and potentially I turn on maybe like specular and lighting, this is also going to continue rendering. And because this is the Vray frame buffer, it continually renders as this is an interactive rendering tool. So if we also go ahead and lock in our camera and move, you would notice that these also adjust to that. Let's go ahead and do that. So if we go ahead and move our scene, you'd notice that this automatically adjusts to it. And it is pretty interesting how this one works. So if we say we would like to see what the denoising would look like, because this is going to render out as a channel, we would like to see that once this is done rendering, we would have the denoiser selected and we can calculate the denoising by clicking on the update button. So once you click, you know, to update and calculate that, this is going to tell you what the denoised image of the scene is once you turn this on. So in that case, you can see that this is what it looks like. If we turn this off, you can see what it looks like without the denoiser. At the same time, we can throw in some lens effects if we like, and we can also go ahead and add more effects if we choose. So whether we would like to add some curves, some vignettes, some hues and saturations, you know, just to get the scene to look exactly how we want it to, we can do all of that. Now you notice that earlier on, we went over to our render layer and we did turn on some beauty passes and stuff like this. So how this works is very interesting because we've turned these things on, and again, depending on the number of things you turn on, you can have access to them from here. So you can go ahead and select specular if you like to see that, lighting, and if you like to add more stuff, you can also add them. Now the cool thing with this is these passes makes it very easy for you to do compositing. So depending on what you like to use for your compositing, or maybe the passes that you like to have, if you like to do some further tweaking in, or you just want to have full control of stuff, this is definitely going to come in handy. Now outside that, we also have some cool stuff that you can actually play with in terms of the engine itself. So if you go over to the engine section, you've got the sampler. You can choose the type of image sampler that you want, whether it's progressive or bucket-like, you can do that. You also have like your GI. If you like to have some path guiding, this is currently in experimental, you can turn that on. The globals has a couple of global stuff which deals with your camera, your geometry, your lighting, materials, all that is there. If you go over to systems, you also have a couple of nice cool stuff here which you can turn on and turn off. For example, you can turn on the VFB to always be on top, and you can turn that off as well. And for meshes and material, to any of the mesh that you have selected, you can always go over to the mesh property and you can do some stuff right there. So whether you like to turn on IDs and turn off IDs, you can do that. It's also worth mentioning that if you're working with Vray, if you go over to the Vray menu, you can actually convert your cycles material to Vray material. This is one feature that is also available. So if you do open a Blender file that has cycles material, you can always come through and convert that from cycles to Vray and use them how you choose. Now, we already talked about this one in a separate video before. I'm going to link those ones in the description. Another cool thing which is also here is if you go over to the light, so let's just go over to light and you throw in a Vray sun and sky. Interestingly, you no longer need a cloud add-on because with this, once we get to fire it up, you can literally go all the way to the sunlight, go over to the parameters and throw in clouds. Let's switch over to our camera and lock in the camera and see. So if we go ahead and have the camera selected and make sure that we have this as a physical camera, if we switch back, you can see what we have. So with the Vray sun and sky, we can now turn on clouds and we can use these to drive various stuff. So if we would like to, you know, maybe add clouds, control the clouds how we want, we can do that. You can also enable things like cloud trails, number of cloud trails you like to have. You can throw in some shadows right there. You can do some ground shadows if this is something that you want to work with. And you can also play with the sky models that exist, as Vray offers a couple of sky models that you can pick from. Vray currently delivers, and the community version is now available totally for free for Blender creators to grab and start creating stuff. And of course, for those who like to read more about this, you can simply come through and read more about it right here. If you simply go all the way down, you can see who this version is for. It is for students and newbies that are trying to get started with stuff, for content creators and educators, for those who like to create tutorial reviews and stuff like this, which we're currently doing, hobbies that would like to experiment, freelancers, and also developers. And for freelancers, this one makes sense because you can use it for personal project, portfolio building, look dev, and concept pitches for clients. If you go all the way down, you can see the comparison between the paid license and the community one. Every single thing that you need to actually get things going is available with the community one. The only things that you don't get is support from Chaos. That is not available. You also don't get the cloud collaboration. That is also not available. You don't have the AI powered tools. You don't have the batch headless rendering, distributed rendering, export to Vray format, and pipeline integration. You don't have those, but you can definitely live without those ones. You do have the 14K plus Cosmos assets, which is cool. And you have like 2K rendering, which is, I think, okay. The only place where I think a lot of people would have a few problems with this has to do with the output image quality. As currently, paid one gives you 32 and the free one gives you 8-bit, and I think a lot of people would want something a bit higher like 16-bit. Other than that, this looks pretty nice, and of course, if you like to grab this, you can come through and check it out. For those that are looking for more options, of course, we've already talked about some of these options before. We've got the Blender to Arnold. This is currently available. It's totally free. You can come through and grab it. Then we've got that RenderMan. RenderMan is totally free. The non-commercial version is available. You can use that inside of Blender. And we've got Octane Prime. Octane Prime, the free tier, is also available, and you can try it out. And all of these other options are options of rendering engines that you might want to explore with. So this is it. For those who like to take a look at this, you can simply go over to the link in the description and check this out. And of course, a huge shout out to the folks at Chaos for making this possible. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and until I see you guys in the next one, peace.